morning, everyone. I'm going to bring some friends up here with me if they're all back from getting breakfast. Angie and Marcia and Jackie up here, maybe. Great. And is there a clicker or just... So I'm Jacey Cavanagh. I am the National Director for MakerMinded, an initiative of LIFT, Lightweight Innovations for Tomorrow, which is a public-private partnership based out of Detroit with the mission to maintain the U.S. defense industrial base through implementing high-end technologies around lightweight materials manufacturing. And as LIFT is developing these technologies and bringing them to market, we know that unless we have the workforce that can actually adapt to and use and implement and grow these technologies, what's the point? We can't bring these things to market and keep our companies competitive. And so LIFT in its look at how do we not only fill jobs today that we know are open, and the 2 million jobs that are expected to go unfilled over the next decade, how do we build that long-term talent pipeline for the future? So we're really looking at the jobs 10 years from now. Those are students in classrooms today that will have to transform into that tech-savvy workforce of the future. And I think we have a presentation, if we can kind of go the first slide, maybe? Maybe not? Well, that's coming up. I'm going to introduce my friends here on stage. We have Angie Davidson from Jackson Independent School. We have Marcia Bertram from Wayne County High School. And we have Jackie Hogan, who I know you all know, the GM of Toyotetsu and the chair of the board here at CAM. And I think, how many of you are familiar with MakerMinded? Great. Maybe this half of the room. Excellent. So LIFT rolled out MakerMinded in 2016 to address this issue of how do we build that workforce for the future? How do we reach middle schools and high schools today where we know kids as early as 8th grade actually start making critical decisions about their future, whether they're subconscious or unconscious? How do we excite them, engage them, educate them, and empower them to stay on tracks towards STEM and advanced manufacturing? We also know that nothing excites kids more than competition, and throw a little reward in there, competition and grassroots campaigns communications. So we sort of combined those concepts and rolled out a digital platform called MakerMinded that, with the purpose of providing access to sort of the world's class STEM and advanced manufacturing initiatives, not only nationally, but locally right here in Kentucky. How do we directly connect kids to real-world manufacturing experiences? Many of them don't know that there are manufacturing facilities as they're driving down the highway everywhere. How do we bridge that gap and connect kids directly to manufacturing? MakerMinded is a digital platform that provides access to a diverse array of programs, and we slap on a competition on that, so students, as they find activities that meet their skills and interests, they do those activities, they come back to the site, they report on what they learned, and then their school gets points. And we had, I think, over 115 schools engaged this year competing for points, and we are so excited to celebrate those schools today here. Do we have a presentation yet? Awesome. Well, while that is being set up, I want you to hear directly from both Jackie, an employer in Kentucky, and two of our teacher advocates on what this really means to kids in the classroom. So I'm going to have Marcia come up first and talk a little bit about the impact MakerMinded and directly connecting with manufacturing has had on her students.
Good morning. I am Marcia Bertram. I'm from Wayne County High School. I am the IT teacher at Wayne County High School. We started an information technology department this year, and you're looking at the department. MakerMinded fit perfectly with what we want to do with our school. We want to become more community-based. We want to become more manufacturing-based. We want to become more project-based. And this program allowed us to take the students out into field trips where they could consider their future options. We went out to Somerset Community College and toured their additive manufacturing lab. I understand they're going to be here tomorrow. They're amazing. We started 3D printing, and that's become very popular. We have done so many things through this program, and the power of the program for us was it helped us to make a school community. We had 225 students and staff entering points for our school. That's 225 out of 1,000. That's an amazing number for me. They were all behind this. We wanted to win. We as a group wanted to win. I probably wanted to win more than anyone else. My students will tell you that I did, but there was an energy about it. There were students saying, "Where are we now?" And when we got to first place, it was so exciting, we sent emails out to everybody. When we broke 1,000 points and we got a shout out from MakerMinded, it was so exciting, we sent emails to everybody, and the local paper carried the story, which generated even more interest, generated even more of a buzz around the community. I went to the Chamber of Commerce to talk about internships, and I ended up talking about MakerMinded while I was there. And they came to me after it was over and said, "Would you like to bring them out for a field trip? Will that help your points?" A man that owns 4 different businesses said, "Would you like for me to come in and talk to them?" And so we started that give and take with the community and the school, and it's exactly what we wanted. We allowed the students to see what there is beyond the school for them in the future, and that is what we wanted. We're making a field of dreams. We're building it. Please come.
Thanks, Marcia. Wow. The magic that happens when you provide opportunities to kids. They're Kentucky proud. They're taking the problem of the manufacturing workforce into their own hands, and we're hearing the kids really driving and owning the competition is pretty amazing. I want to hear a little bit from Angie, also an amazing advocate who helped to spread MakerMinded not only within her district but across the state.
Hello, my name is Angie Davidson. I work at a very small school in eastern Kentucky. I think we have about 360 kids maybe, K through 12. So when I became the Region 5 advocate for MakerMinded, I was very excited because I'm also a Hope Street Fellow. And with Hope Street Group, I'm on the Workforce Engagement Committee. And it's just, I feel like that is some very powerful work that we need to make more of a connection between our businesses, especially in eastern Kentucky. That's really going to be our future. So when I heard about MakerMinded and was offered the opportunity to be the Region 5 advocate, I was very excited about that. We came a little late to the game, but our students were mostly, when I started looking at the activities, MakerMinded has wonderful activities already in there. It's a win-win. Even if you're just trying to get ideas for STEM activities, they're just, it's endless. And we will add, if there's an activity that your students go to, we can have those added. And it's just been a wonderful experience. We had most of our points through 6th and 7th grade, and also our one high school class that we had, and we're going to add more next year, and we tried to spread it in the East as much as we can. We have big ideas and big hopes and dreams for next year, to getting it spread even more and more in the region. But we just kind of do it statewide. If we see someone, if I'm at any kind of meeting, I'm always kind of putting the plug in for MakerMinded, because I do feel advanced manufacturing, that's really kind of the future. I've been in education a long time, and we have really in the last 10 years really pushed college and career readiness, but mostly it was a college push, which is great, and we need to do that. But I also felt like it was a little lacking in the manufacturing in those areas, and so I'm just so thankful to be part of this program because I feel like we're finally making that connection. And again, like for in Eastern Kentucky, that's our future. We have to come up with more industries and more agricultural-based projects and things. So I'm just really excited about all that, and I think it's going to be some great work in the future. And so our students, the other part of it I just want to mention really quick is that I love the fact that students, even younger students, 6th, 7th graders, they have to, just the whole process of signing up for MakerMinded, you sign up, you have to use your email, you have to go, confirm it, and then you put in your own points, you put in your own pictures and graphics, and the first day we even had trouble figuring out the graphic, how we're going to get this picture in there, and one of the students I brought with me today, Micah, I think we were in class, and he said, I figured it out. So that was great. We all figured it out as we went along, but the kids got to put in their own points, and they took pictures, and we're already doing a lot of the activities in our STEM classes, so it just kind of gave them, they were all excited about doing it. Now they are looking down through the choices, and they can't wait to try some new ones. They've already mentioned some for next year, and so we're just really excited about that. And I really can't say enough about this program. It's one of the best programs I've been a part of in a long time, and I just really love the connection between the business sector and schools, and I just feel like we need to do more of that. So just want to say thank you just to the MakerMinded people and just for being here, because I just really think that's a program that's going to do wonderful things.
So as you heard, the students really have access to, I think on the Kentucky platform we have over 100 different STEM competitions, from robotics to designing underwater submarines to Skills USA to smaller local competitions. Some are more popular than others, but I think the most meaningful experiences that students have had on MakerMinded is when they can go in and see manufacturing firsthand. And we underestimate that meaning for kids. And no one does it better than Toyotetsu, who had, we lost track, but hundreds of students in over the last few years. They've partnered with MakerMinded. And so I want you all to hear directly from Jackie on what that was like, both for the kids that they interacted with, but also Toyotetsu to have kids engaged in their processes.
Thank you, Jacey. First of all, I would like to point out that I'm proudly a graduate of Wayne County High School who won the competition this year, but there's no connection there, honestly. As manufacturers, it's tough to think about taking time to go to the schools. Manufacturing has traditionally been very closed. People don't come into our workplaces very often. When you think about retail, or you think about a restaurant, or you think about a lot of different industries, everybody goes to them. So kids grow up knowing what you do at those places. And they grow up thinking, maybe I'd like to do this for a living or that for a living. But manufacturers traditionally don't invite people in. And of course, we all live in a very lean world now. Nobody has extra people. Nobody has extra time. So to go to the schools and say, we would like to help and we would like to do some things with you, takes commitment. It's not easy. But I really am so proud of the MakerMinded program, because it has become a catalyst for linking manufacturers to schools. I would like to say thank you very much to the teachers, because you all have more on your plate than you know what to do with, and adding another item is the last thing on your minds. MakerMinded, the magic of it is that it has kind of prepackaged things that teachers can pull from for activities. And as manufacturers, if we can get involved and if we can host tours and if we can go into the classrooms and show up at school occasionally to do some things. It pays off tremendously. Introducing kids to some of the STEM programs, or just the fact that manufacturing is a very viable career and something that they may be very interested in doing. So we've been very proud to be a partner for MakerMinded and a partner for the education system in our area as well. So thank you all for everything that you do.
Okay, so just a little recap before we get to the fun part and get you all up here to receive these prizes. 115 schools participated this year. Almost 2,000 students and teachers from across the state. You see the pins on the map here show sort of highlights of activity. We would love to fill the rest of the state blue, so if you're in an area that's not blue, we need you. We had over 300% increase in engagement from students in schools and activities over last year, which shows, I think, the foundation that we've laid here in Kentucky, and thanks to our amazing teacher advocates, 2 of whom are up here with us, and the partnership with the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers and the Foundation for Kentucky Industry, and the leadership of Carol Crawford, who has sort of taken us across the finish line this year. And now I think we get to the fun part. So a little housekeeping. I'm going to call up schools if the representatives come up as you're called, and Jackie is going to help present the awards. I should tell you what the awards are. So in these hard case portable suitcase, we have virtual reality kits for each school, and they include a laptop computer, state-of-the-art, high-end, an Oculus Rift headset, as well as unlimited access to download STEM and advanced manufacturing VR experiences in the classroom. The idea is that we're not only awarding kids for the great work that they've done, but we're encouraging them to stay connected and stay engaged in manufacturing in the classroom. VR is an incredible, I think, underutilized educational tool, and we're just beginning to scratch the surface on the impact it has in the classroom. So, first up, Mazik Middle School in Louisville, Kentucky, from the Jefferson County School District. Buffy Sexton, teacher, is joined by students Alexander Young, Jasmine Louis, and Salil Kotari. If you all could join me up here. Excellent. I'm going to flash up on the screen a couple of the activities that Mazik did over the year. Solar eclipse, we have Vex Robotics, some coding as well. Great participation from Mazik, so thank you. Next up, we have Capital Day Middle School. Science teacher Audrey Bebensey, I'm sorry if I'm butchering anybody's names, joined by students Terry Kucharla, Cooper Patrick, Adnan Sheikh, Parvin Smith. Join me up here. Here are some of the activities they participated in this year. Third, we have Wayne County Area Technology Center in Monticello, Kentucky. I believe we have John Kennett, the principal of Wayne County, to accept the VR kit. Fourth up, we have Wayne County High School. Marcia, who has to come back up. Marcia Bertram, an IT teacher and also one of our teacher advocates for MakerMinded, is joined by two students, Colby Corder and Austin Phelps. And last but not least, we're going to bring Angie up one more time to award our fifth school, Jackson Independent, in Jackson, Kentucky, joined by students Lakin Davidson, Micah Henson, and Christiana Turner. We want to thank all of our schools, teachers, students, employers who participated this year. It was a tremendous year. But it's not over here in Kentucky. We're rolling out our third year competition starting in August of 2018. And for those employers in the room, who imagine it's the majority of you, there are a multitude of ways that you can partner with us. First and foremost, if you have an activity, offer a tour for students, we want to make sure that students in Kentucky actually know about it. And so we want you to use the MakerMinded platform to write about the activity and help raise awareness of it and directly connect with students across the state. Sponsorship opportunities and other opportunities to connect with your near future workforce. So thank you so much, and Kentucky proud.